PackGod, as you know, is the GOAT. He is the funniest person on the internet. He is a hilarious roaster, and I gotta support him in everything he makes because, well, I'm a big PackGod fan. No, but all jokes aside, you know, PackGod, he is somebody who I actually think pioneered a genre of content that didn't really exist before him, basically entering Discord VCs and just roasting people in the VC and then posting these videos roasting people with like this over editing and super fast paced, like 120 BPM editing style. And I have to say, it was cool for a while. I do think what ended up happening is it became stale and people started clowning on it now that it's become stale. And so, yeah, this video is called PackGod, Lord of Corny. So PackGod is this roasting content creator, and he basically became corny over time. People used to love his videos, and they still do love his videos, but there's definitely been a lot of people who are calling him cringe, and they are sort of ironically saying things that are supporting him. They're like, yo, this is high, this is heat, this is fire, I played this, and everyone clapped, and it was awesome. I used to watch his videos too. Like, I used to, no meme, watch his videos. I thought they were hilarious, and I'm not gonna sit here and deny that. People do this. People do this thing where they'll enjoy something for a while, and then when it becomes popular to hate, they'll act like they never enjoyed it, or that they hate it now as well, and they never liked it, or that they were pressured into liking it. It's just coping. I liked his videos. I thought they were funny. I do see what makes them corny now. I do think that they're very formulaic, and I think the audience that it appeals to is certainly like a middle school boy demographic, so it's easy to clown on, but I'm not gonna lie, I've chuckled at a few of his videos, but the amount of clowning that's happening on his content now, especially on Twitter, is getting pretty crazy. So yeah, let's take a look. Anyway, this is PackGod, Lord of Corny.
Bruh, what did you say about funk, bruh? I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson with some moves I learned at anime high school. Transforms into PackGod. Shut your Google Chrome Dome home up, bruh. You look like the guy from Roblox. You appear to share characteristics with the Fortnite person. You somewhat bear resemblance to a character relating to the hit video game Minecraft. Da 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 PackGod.
Yeah, that's how his videos are.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot. PackGod is a YouTuber with a combined total of nearly 6 million subscribers and no lasting impact on internet culture apart from post-ironic mocking.
I thought that was cool. I like that he rapped his sponsors. Did no one else like that? This is so tough. It is so tough. I think the way that he raps how Opera GX is fire. I don't think that's crazy. This has 6 million subs. What the fuck? You guys don't understand how funny these videos were, okay? Like, they were funny. You know what else has not aged well? My soup. It is perished. What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
He is a 5'1" white rapper, and I mean that in the negative connotation, who rose to fame through the extremely epic, definitely not cringe art of Discord packing. Since you're more than likely over the age of 12, this term might seem quite alien to you, so let me put it in a way an adult can understand. If we look up the Flazopedia definition, packing, or to be packed, is the act of two or more unemployed people joining a Discord call and screaming insults they just heard at the playground during recess at each other in order to see who is the best packer. And
it's basically a roast battle, and what they do is they recite things that are usually relevant to like a TikTok meme or a popular video game, and they'll compare the person in the call to something that is undesirable, that is trending, right? So they'll be like, boy, you been like Lonely Lodge, like you lonely and you in the Lonely Lodge. Like, yeah, that's basically what this whole thing is.
The answer is...
And I have to say, when the certain trending topic is funny, then it's funny. If you're just like, yeah, you are giving head to Turkish Quandel Dingo, or that's funny. I think that's funny.
Is me. I can fit a lot of things in my bum. It's just roasting.
What?
The Zoomers have invented a new word for roast battles. Keemstar was doing it on Blog TV nearly a decade ago. It was embarrassing back then. It's super embarrassing now because it's all facilitated through the Valorant e-dating app. If you get roasted epic enough, it spam ats everyone in your server with the Wumpus rope gif. And PackGod is the self-proclaimed god of the activity, using his ability to say vaguely insult-sounding sentences to amass an army of children that view him as a messiah of Sigma, a saint of slander, a pack
of gods.
God. But to everyone else, he is extremely corny. He really
I mean, obviously, that's to be said about anything where the niche is a certain thing. Like, if you're like, oh, yeah, this is gacha life content, and then people are like, well, the gacha life is cringe. Okay, well, therefore it's cringe, but it's not cringe to the people who enjoy it. So I think that obviously PackGod's content in particular, and there are groups and there are things that have this effect where even though most people who enjoy it don't think it's cringe, a lot of people who don't enjoy it think it's really cringe. You know, like there's a lot of things that people don't enjoy that they don't find cringe, but with stuff like this, and then you look at like furries and gacha life. What's that game with the anime characters that everyone fucking plays that has like all the in-app Genshin Impact? Those are sort of things where the out group tends to look more negatively on the in group, and so I think with PackGod, he's definitely one of those people.
Really should be called PackCob. If you for some reason have the misfortune of clicking on any video from one of his 4 channels, you will be overcome with an indescribable sense of cringe, because they all have the exact same vibe as walking into a middle school with the loud, unfunny sound effects, constant yelling, and seizure-inducing visuals. There is something to be said about bombastic, frenetic editing, as you've probably seen.
I mean, I think it's kind of like tone deaf. I don't think it's smart to reduce this guy's success and minimize it to like everyone thinks this is cringe, because I mean, you know, if someone has 6 million subs, they have 6 million subs for a reason. Like, PackGod didn't do nothing and then just got 6 million subs. Obviously, there's certain people where they'll usually do something that's almost borderline exploiting YouTube's algorithm for subs and growth. Like, some of the YouTube Shorts creators that beg for subs at the end of their shorts, you know, subscribe and I'll eat a pencil. I don't think those people, you have to ask the question, how do they get so big for? Because, well, they're basically just gaming the system. PackGod literally did get subs because people thought his stuff was funny, right? And so if you're going to say anyone who watches it finds it cringe, then you're wrong. That's not true. It's just not true.
Quite a fan of it, but there's a very fine balance between being engaging and headache-inducing. I also find it really funny that over on his Roblox channel, PackBlocks, which is super cool and epic to have, it appears that in his channel art, he is calling out another Roblox channel, LankyBot.
Okay, so this is... Okay, I guess he is doing the thing that I just said the Shorts creators do, where he basically asks for subs. So, they basically subscribe and I'll eat a pencil thing. He did in his banner subscribe so he can beat LankyBox. But this is, I think, far less of an egregious offense because no one really looks at the YouTube banners. Anyone who's subscribing from Shorts is like a little kid. Anyone who's actually seeing this is probably on desktop or they actually went to your channel page. So I think it's a little bit different, but still, you know, whatever. And this came after all of his other success, so.
Channel art, he is calling out another Roblox channel, LankyBox.
Help! Gagagadagagadagadio! Trapped us in their gagagadagagadagadio! Prison in Roblox! Gagagadagagadagadio!
Almost as if PackGod sees himself as above them when they make scarily similar content for extremely similar audiences.
Yeah.
I just disagree.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video pack.
Like, they share characteristics. Like, yeah, it's overstimulating, it's kind of crap, but I think with the LankyBox stuff is like you're looking at a content farm versus even though PackGod scripts his content and you find it cringe, the format in which he delivers the roast and maybe the roast themselves or who the roasts are directed at, you think it's repetitive or punching down. I think at the end of the day, you have to give him credit, or at least you have to not, you can't say that he's the same as LankyBox. You just can't. You can't do that. That's a stretch, right? That's literally not true. I think that's silly.
Blocks, and today we're going to be doing
forbidden Roblox games, and they're so scary, guys. In this new Fortnite Star Wars update, we unlock the ultra rare red lightsaber item and have to use it to get a
Fortnite dance music.
Been lonely, I've been down, I've been hurting badly. Suddenly, boss baby, well, they gon' try me just like my mama smacked you when they hate me. Eating giant pickles, but it should be like a dicey videos. I'm friends, but they always done better call Mr. Beast.
I mean, this is just a fast song. Like, this is just a fast song. And then he's like, LankyBox also made a song. Like, this is sort of grasping at straws, right? That's like saying Eminem is like LankyBox because he talks fast, right? I think that's kind of dumb. I think it doesn't really make sense. I think that's a reach.
Badly, suddenly, boss baby, well, they gon' try me just like my mama smacked you when they hate me. Eating giant pickles, but it should be like a dicey videos. I'm friends, but they always done better call Mr. Beast.
The only difference is that PackGod fans are in the 7th grade, LankyBox fans are in the 6th grade. But what the editing is really good at, apart from overloading my brain with iFunny humor, is disguising the fact that what you're really seeing when you consume content from the PackGod channel
is a recording of a Discord call. And when you cut out the aids, it is extremely awkward.
Are you barking? That's a barking.
Why you wanna get loud in this? Boy, you like a velociraptor in a toilet bowl. Yo, Autumn, stop barking. Just stand there with your mouth down. Stand there with your mouth down. Were you like a velociraptor in a clogged toilet bowl? Were you like an off-brand Ben 10 character? Now you ain't Ben 10, you Steven 9. Get your on. Were you like you got expelled from barking at your lunch lady? Shut your ass up. Were you ain't from Jurassic Park? You came from the prehistoric playground.
The edits are also very handy at selling the illusion that PackGod is the ultimate badass who is brutally and epically tearing down.
I mean, the editors are doing the heavy lifting, right? Like, this is something where if you look at the actual content, it's someone who's roasting, and then it's someone who's receiving the roast, and then in order to really convey that the person roasting is doing a good job, you have to polish it with the editing, right? This is pretty obvious. Cheeto Man, you're melting our brains. I'm gonna be honest, I'm melting my own brain too. And I think that the arguments here, I mean, this is like, we're talking about a very obvious observation. This guy made a video, and 4 minutes into the video, he's like, yes, he uses his editor to make him look better. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think most people do that. I think that if you think that PackGod is a good roaster because of that, then you're probably easily manipulated. I think if you understand why he's using the editor, obviously you can deduce that he's doing so to make himself look better. But if you actually think that because of it, he's a good roaster or a good packer, I don't know, you're 5 years old.
Down anyone he roasts by covering up their lack of reaction. Most of their reactions, from what you can glean through the barrage of bruh sound effects and PackGod's Packsona moving like the Incredible Gassy, is what I can only assume to be extreme confusion. They are not shocked into silence by his packing prowess. They are in a confused daze trying to piece together a single sentence as their brain is assaulted by a live feed of our dank memes.
Like Justin Bieber fused with a geometry dash square. You're the modern personification of Bling Bling Boy from Johnny Test. Hey yo, Blizzy, put your hands down. You look like a Reddit upvote.
PackGod's roasts are abysmal dog shit. They start off with basic insults about his opponent's appearance or—
You know, it's crazy, all these dudes in chat asking generic-ass questions when he's reacting to a video like, yeah, bro, he's gonna pause his commentary to answer your milquetoast question. Opinions on New Zealand. Like, these people will ask me some question like that and expect me to pause and talk about New Zealand. I've never been to New Zealand. I'm never going to New Zealand. I don't know anybody from New Zealand. What does New Zealand do? What do they make? Why is it even New Zealand? Was there an old Zealand? I don't know a fucking thing about New Zealand, nor do I have the facilities to ask a question about your question, so I can't fucking answer it.
Possibly their actions, if they're a notorious enough figure, and then devolve into Mad Lib's nonsense extremely quickly.
Shut your ass up, don't talk, boy. But if you don't get your watch me whip, watch me nay, I got you running like take care your grandma gave Bling Bling Boy a dance for payday.
And they are said with such speed and rhyme that it may trick you into thinking they're clever, but if you reduce the volume and lower the frequency of his banshee shrieking about 10,000%, you will discover bars ripped directly from a 100 epic roasts that'll make you the coolest friend in the group chat book.
Is that true? Let's take a look.
Hey Packers, today I thought we'd talk about Brapog and some of his stinky lines. From PackGod vs Discord Furry, we have the incredible, "Stop playing with me boy. You sexually identify as an unsolved Rubik's Cube. You made an NFT of your grandma twerking on a pickle. You tried turning..."
Like, am I dumb or is that actually funny? I think that's funny. You made an NFT of your grandma twerking, like, it's retarded. It's retarded, and on the first listen, I think it's kind of funny. So maybe I'm 6th grade level IQ. That's okay. I think it's kind of funny.
Your dishwasher into a Bitcoin mining rig.
Like, that's funny. You turn your dishwasher... Who would turn the dishwasher into a Bitcoin mining rig?
You tried turning your dishwasher into a Bitcoin mining rig.
Yeah, and he's trying to say that if I deliver the same lines in a monotone voice, it isn't funny. And it is funny. And I'm not delusional, and I'm not going to be gaslit into thinking that this isn't kind of funny because you said so. And I'm just going to say this, man. When you start the video and he's like, yeah, he's 6 million views, and the video you're pulling from has 12 million, it has 12 million for a reason. Like, it's pretty funny. I think it's funny. It's not the most original thing. It's not the most creative thing ever. I think it's kind of funny. This guy is just using PackGod to make a video off a big name, more clicks, doesn't really care if the same editing bullshit. Like, here's the thing, right? This video got like an insane amount of likes and dislikes because PackGod is corny at the end of the day. I think that he is kind of corny. Like, it's no doubt. The way that he makes the videos, corny. You know, the ear rape, corny. Editing, corny. Who he targets and everything, like the presentation and everything is corny. Some of the fucking shit written here is kind of stupid in a way that it's so dumb it's funny. You try turning your dishwasher into a Bitcoin mining rig. It's creative. It's funny. To be fair, PackGod and FlazeFire already hashed this out. It was more FlazeFire being 24 years old, not finding PackGod funny, so he decided to make the video. Well, that makes sense.
First off, a solved Rubik's Cube is much closer to an actual rainbow than an unsolved one. So although the sexually identifying as a random object joke isn't funny, and never has been, it would be more color theory accurate. Now as far as the NFT bar, it would be much more impactful if you compared the furry's likeness to that of an actual NFT, because, as we know, NFTs are hot doo-doo feces, and the furry is wearing a licensed Jurassic Park dinosaur mask, an easily interchangeable waste of carbon that is cheap garbage. Also like an NFT. Therefore, the burn would be more impactful using a
Are we dead ass, bro? Are we dead ass? We're really doing this?
direct comparison rather than the random nonsense you decided to go with. And the Bitcoin dishwashing line is really fucking stupid all around, and there's no fixing it other than you sitting down and contemplating if this is the legacy you want to leave behind on this earth. Another example of
So he doesn't even say, he's like, it's stupid. Yes, it's stupid, it's
contemplating
funny.
if this is the legacy you want to leave behind.
This is the legacy? Dude, it's a fucking, your dishwasher, you're so dumb. Your mama's so dumb, she thought she could mine Bitcoin on the dishwasher. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Like, it's a fucking YouTube Discord roasting video. This is what I don't get, right? Is like, I feel like you're kind of put into a position where the expectations are not really manageable. Because if you make a really funny joke, because if you make a really funny, well thought out joke, you're oftentimes going to trade off the humor for the delivery. So a lot of funny jokes have a setup, a punchline, whatever, whereas a one-liner like that is going to be delivered in fast sequence. And so the one-liner is going to be something pretty probably stupid like that. Like, you're dumb, you're built like this, you're built like that, you look like that, you sound like this. That's what the format is, you know? Analyzing comedy like this is equally as stupid. Yeah, I mean, and this is what this is the thing, right? It's like, I think this guy is super out of touch because he doesn't understand that he is in no way part of the target demographic for this kind of content. And this is pretty obvious when you look at the fact that he's decided to dedicate an entire part of his video dissecting lyrics or words from his roasting session. And the roasting session is him delivering these lines in ear rape, and it's obviously meant for like middle schoolers. So you're kind of unk. And that's fine that you're unk, but then if you're gonna try to act like this was meant for you and that you don't like it because of it, then it's like, that's dumb. Because in a very funny way, this is so funny. At the beginning of the video, he's like, yeah, this is very similar to the content LankyBox makes, so it's pretty funny that he's gonna act like he's above it. But it's like, well then why aren't you making this video about LankyBox? Okay. Or why aren't you maintaining the same self-awareness that, or why aren't you maintaining the self-awareness that if they're so similar that you may not be the target demographic for it? If he says the target demographic for them is both super young and then he's going to come here and shit on it, then it's like, really? I'm going to preface this video saying that this content's very similar to content that I also wouldn't watch, but I am going to watch this one and take it seriously. Huh.
Carbon that is cheap garbage. Also like an NFT. Therefore, the burn would be more impactful using a direct comparison rather than the random nonsense.
And don't get me wrong, I've roasted content that I won't watch. Like, I've roasted plenty of kids' content and stuff like that. I think the difference here is that I'm not pretending that it's meant for me. Like, I think when I watch it, I know what it's for, and I think that's my main concern. Like, yeah, this is for kids, it's bad for kids, here's why it's bad for kids. And then obviously I'll roast maybe the grown adults that are making it. But, you know, this is for like a middle school demographic, and I think that makes things different, you know?
You decided to go with. And the Bitcoin dishwashing line is really fucking stupid all around, and there's no fixing it other than you sitting down and contemplating if this is the legacy you want to leave behind on this earth. Another example of some bars that are straight gas, in the brappy way, are from the PackGod vs OnlyFans girl video. Your parents got divorced, call that Clash of Clans. You got the IQ of a K-pop Twitter stan. You got two titties on you, Pinhead Larry and Dirty Dan. As you can see by the title, she has an OnlyFans, which means her parents are no longer together. And that's a very original insult that's definitely not played out at all. And comparing the divorce to Clash of Clans is very clever because, as we know, marriage is a game we all play, and when you lose, your wife takes the kids. I'm just kidding. You made the comparison because clans rhymes with fans, and it's a reference that will make the kids watching go, I know that thing! Now I have to give it to Shat.
Wait, what? That's not even, your parents got divorced, call that Clash of Clans. It's not because, he doesn't even understand the rhyme. It's because it's a clash. You're battling. Your parents got divorced, call that Clash of Clans. It's not because clans rhymes with fans.
Go, and because clans rhymes with fans.
Your parents got divorced, call that fans? That's literally not why, he's just wrong. His analysis is wrong!
And it's a reference that will make the kids watching go, I know that thing! Now I have to give it to Shat Bob. The line about the K-pop fan IQ is scientifically accurate. Yeah. Yeah, his logic is sound. If he's attempting to call the girl an ignoramus, comparing her IQ to that of a K-pop fan is a solid route to take. However, given that it has no relation to the girl or the lines that come before or—
Holy fucking shit, I'm really not feeling this analytics part, or analysis part I should say. Completely terrible. Overall bad. Wouldn't watch again. Can we get past this? Oh my god, how long does he do this for? Okay, it's over, but this was a solid— this is like the most replayed part is when he's done doing this shit. Interesting.
If you look at who PackGod chooses to target for his roasts, you will begin to notice a trend. He is extremely skilled in the martial art of punching down. Nearly every packing video is him going after someone with a much smaller audience or are already an easy target.
I feel like that's kind of how it is, because when you have 6 million subscribers, most people will be below you in size and a smaller audience. Like if you have 6 million subs, like let's look at who I talk about, right? Most of the people that I talk about are probably around my size, a little less than me in size, or way above my size. Now the reason for that is because of my size. It's all relative. So with PackGod, when you have 6 million subscribers, most of the people that you're going to be making content on will be below you. Like that's pretty obvious.
It is extremely—
What else did he say?
Smaller audience.
Well, I mean, I feel like who gives a fuck though? It's like the whole punching down thing is like, yeah, I mean, you're punching down if you have 6 million subs, always. You're never not punching down. Unless it's like, who is he roasting? Like Jack Doherty maybe? That one he maybe wasn't punching down, but like still, most of the time.
Or are already an easy target.
They're already an easy
is him going
target.
after someone with a much smaller audience or are already an easy target.
I mean, when he says already an easy target, it just means like woman or furry.
It is extremely easy to come up with insults for women. They don't even need to be good.
It's true.
They just need to be directed towards women. And the Sigma red pill toddlers will go, W's! PackGod W! L women! And the numbers agree with me, because if we look at PackGod's most popular videos, there is a lot of boobies. When he's not quoting incel manifestos, he loves to berate furries, TikTokers who are kind of annoying, and anyone under the—
This one like isn't really punching down, and I feel like even if it was, the same things can be said. Like that's not something that I really care about. Like I feel like punching down is not really it's sort of an abstract thing, you know. It's like, okay, well if he has less subs, is it okay? Like it's the same thing.
The age of 18. Extremely low-hanging fruit. But PackGod is an impeccable farmer. Every once in a while, he will attempt to pack someone that might be considered an appropriate target. And for some reason, PackGod and Pack fans think that this did or meant anything.
What's the incel thing? Is he talking about OnlyFans? This is the thing, right? Is like, I don't really know what he means, because he could be joking when he says like the incel manifesto thing. Like that could just be like, oh, I'm exaggerating his level of sexism by comparing him to an incel, even though most of his sexism is obviously done in a joking way. But it also could be him sincerely saying that he thinks he's an incel because he called him a 5'1" white rapper, which is like 5'1", short incel. I really don't know. I mean, I might be looking into this too much, but he also looked into PackGod's one-liners for about 5 minutes, so I really don't even know. Not even the dude knows what he means. Some of the things he's saying as kind of throwaway points or one-liners himself, I don't know what the fuck he means.
When I push up on, put extensions in your hair, and you just got divorced by a dude who was built like a pear.
Hey yo, EDP, I wear dickle pants. Tell me why your ears are in the nether, your eyebrows are on max brightness, and your neck is an incognito.
Pillsbury, Doughboy, classic Lance Builder, Bob the Builder off a Percocet looking at motherfucker. Tell me why I got you butt naked, stand in front of a mirror going feed, 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 feed. You just got put in a pack. You can never go outside and show your face again. Brother, this is embarrassing.
That was actually one of the worst violations ever. That was awful. Oh my God, how are you gonna let me say that about you and just say nothing?
Wow. You sure packed them real good. They really seem shaken up by this one. It really does nothing.
Why is his neck why is his neck on incognito mode though? I don't know.
But give these pieces of shit a platform. PackGod versus EDP is cringe. PackGod versus Sniper Wolf is just sad. She's not even in the call. You're just LARPing.
If you want to show me that you're sorry, and this goes to anybody, make a good change in your life. Seriously, make a good change in your life. But unfortunately, until that day occurs,
And PackGod versus Jack Doherty is just disappointing because the actual interview section is really interesting. It's really nifty to see this piece of human garbage cope and seethe when valid criticisms are brought up against him.
I think that it would be unwise to promote gambling and OnlyFans.
Bro, I haven't even gotten a penny from this gambling deal yet, dog. Why are we still on this topic?
However, all of that is thrown in the trash the second PackGod devolves into his unhinged Reddit ramblings.
Like a stick of peanut brittle. Your girlfriend's love for you is artificial. To look it like Ralphie off the Magic School Bus, and I'm gonna screw you like Mrs. Swizzle.
I will be taking back my respect, thank you. To PackGod, reputation matters most above all else. His reputation in the eyes of children, mind you.
Why do you think that is bad?
Because I don't care.
Which is fickle and fleeting, because you are only as good as your most recent win. There is a level of obsession with constantly taking the W, not just for Pack's ego, but his entire brand.
I mean, I feel like that sort of goes without saying, and I feel like with PackGod, the most recent W thing is something that you're gonna have a hard time taking when the whole internet is basically calling you corny. At the same time, though, if we go into his channel, I think it's fair to say that he's probably doing fine. He's probably doing okay. Actually, maybe he's not, but his last video did okay. 4.8 million views. I think if he was posting more, he'd be fine. I think if he was doing more content, people would look past the corniness. What would you say if he packed you? I don't know. But people are saying why everyone turned on PackGod, PackGod this, PackGod that, you know, whatever. But it is interesting, definitely, to see how he's just not really making content. I think if he was consistently posting, he'd be just fine. But yeah, I don't know if I want to watch the rest of this video, bro. This shit's kind of buns.